Hey guys, how's it going? Heidi back again, working on my van. There's the big truck. So, I was supposed to have a load on Memorial Day to grab over by Indianapolis and take up to Minnesota. But when I got here, I arrived here last night and I got on the computer. I thought the load was loading either last night or this morning, but it turns out it's not loading until tomorrow morning. So since I was already here at work, in this huge lot, I decided to just stay here and work on the van most of the afternoon. I'll show you what I got done. I got quite a bit done between yesterday and today. Hang on. Okay. So yeah, this is my place of employment. That's a wash bay and a break room for drivers. And then we keep our trailers over here. There's another guy sitting over there waiting to, I don't know what, go get loaded or something. So yeah, here's the van. Here's the cat. One of the cats, the van. So yeah, I got my windows open. Who is this guy? Probably somebody delivering food. So this is the first time I'm actually opening these windows and using them, because I just installed the screens for the first time yesterday, and I haven't been opening them because I didn't want the animals to get out. But now I got these nice screens in here. So yeah, we're getting a nice breeze across the bed all day. I've been working on this back area. It's really coming along. So as you can see, I have the entire wall installed. I've got deck stain and sealant painted onto the wall. That'll keep the wood from getting wet over the years that I have the van. I got these bins I was talking about in the last video. And what I did is I just went out to Lowe's and got the best, strongest, biggest zip ties they carry. So each one of these is 3 drawers. So there are 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I just stacked them up and zip tied them together. So they're all tied together pretty good. And then I got these little mounting brackets and put on the wall here. A big reason I use pretty thick plywood back here. I use 3/8 and I also use 1/2 inch so that I can screw things into this wall and mount things. So let's just zip tie these to the wall and it's nice and sturdy. And this is already a game changer. Having all my tools in here relatively organized. I still have a little bit organizing to do. I left this little cubby back here to keep some building materials. And then of course this is my cat's litter box. And then this is their panic room under the bed, which I still need to put the walls up in here. I just need to cut out some lawn and stick on the walls in here. And they have this little panic room. I got little carpet squares here. There's plenty of room in here for the cats to they can get under the bed from there and come in here. And then they can come to this little opening and get to their litter box. Eventually I'm going to have flaps in here. That way, I won't get a cold draft in winter from this cat doorway being open to the back. Why don't you go get in the big truck? We're getting ready to leave. He's being really stubborn. All right, so yeah. So today I went down to Lowe's. I bought this really nice 1 by 12 by 8 piece of pine, and I cut it to size. Installed some wood using self-drilling tappers onto the wall so that I could mount some brackets to hold this shelf in place, and it's pretty sturdy. I'll probably add some more brackets here in the middle later on, and then I just put these empty bins up here. I have some stuff inside the van I need to transfer into these bins, so hopefully that'll give me lots of nice storage at the top. And now I have this nice little storage area up here too. I don't know how I'm going to configure that. I'll figure it out later on. I think what I'm going to do right here, I think I'm going to mount a laundry basket, or not a laundry basket, a laundry bag that has like a stiff, like a bar right here that'll hold it open, and then I can just have that hanging right here, and then I can throw my laundry from this pass-through, my dirty laundry, into my laundry bag right here, and only have it be like not very big. That way it doesn't encroach on the cat litter box area. And then I still have room over here to put some type of storage or brackets or whatever. I'll figure it out as I go. I'm just kind of winging this back area. I just wanted to have a nice vertical storage area where I can keep all my tools, building materials, you know, seasonal clothing. If I want, I can probably keep, I might keep excess water back here that I can just mount onto the wall. I mean, I'll give it some thought. But yeah, I definitely wanted to have this nice storage area. And as you can see, it's a pretty good size. It's about 16 inches depth. It's 6 feet across, 6 feet tall. So this gives me a nice storage area. And I like this idea as opposed to having storage under the bed. Because if you have storage under your bed, so the bed I have is a queen size bed. So if I had storage under my bed, I would have to be bending over and digging under here to get to things. And I just don't think that's ergonomic. It's not good on the back, especially when you're an older person. Plus, I always knew I wanted to have a panic room for my cats, a safe space for them to go to if we're in a loud area. And I also knew that I wanted to dedicate a little space back here for the litter box, so I don't have the litter box in the living area, which I've talked about before. So yeah, this is turning out really great. I'm really happy with it. All right, so I'll show you guys what I got done on the inside. Actually, let me show you this real quick. So because I decided to do these awning windows that open up all the way, I decided to do that because I want to have lots of good airflow in here. Got my screen in on this side too. I learned from past builds that I don't like having small slider windows. They just don't give enough airflow. But because I decided to have these awning windows, you can see the sliding door kind of interferes with the awning window, right? So if I were to open the sliding door, hang on a minute. There we go. If I were to open the sliding door all the way, it would hit that window and break it. So what I did yesterday, I bought this metal piece. It has a little ball on the end right here that pops in and out. That will keep this metal piece from popping out of the holes I drilled. So what I did is I drilled a hole up here. I drilled another one down here and one down here. Enough to where I could fit this through. And then to keep this actually has a key ring on the top that's metal. To keep it from scratching the paint, I wrapped it with black electrical tape. And to keep, this is a stainless steel pen. To keep the stainless steel pen from breaking this plastic piece on the door, I wrapped it with a rubber hose. If you look closely, you can see that's a rubber hose that I slipped on there. And then I went ahead and wrapped this bottom part with electrical tape just to help it stay in place. So now the door can't slide open and hit the window. It'll always stop right here. And if at some point I need to remove that and let the door open all the way, if I need to put something in there that's big or whatever, which I don't really see that happening, I can always remove that pin. It's removable. One thing I did notice real quick, because my van, it has really good height in the back, so it sits higher in the back than it does in the front. So whenever I open the sliding door, because the rear end's up like this, the door, it has a catch back here. If I open all the way, it'll catch and lock and stay open. But because I've interrupted that by putting that pin in, the door kind of just wants to slide closed. So what I did is I got these magnets up here. I just put these magnets in the track to keep the door from sliding forward, see? And they just pop right out. And I can take those magnets out, you know, when I want to close the door. But anyway, that's how I decided to solve that. They do make mechanisms for this actual purpose for people who want their sliding door to have a stopping point. But I didn't want to pay extra money, so I just bought that cheap pin and drilled it and put it in. It was difficult to drill those holes, I will tell you that. So yeah, I have this area almost finished. Again, this is a storage cubby that I included with this wall I built. And like I talked about before, I put a wall here, and I made this opening straight and true because I'm going to install a retractable screen door right here. And then I'm going to have shelves in here, and I can use this for storage. And of course, none of this is finished. It'll all have nice wood trim when it's done. But for now, I went ahead and covered it with deck stain and sealant, the same stuff I used on the back wall. That way, if I open this sliding door and it's raining, the rain will wick right off of the wood and won't damage it. So, this is my roof hatch in this box. It is enormous. That is going to go up here in the ceiling. I'm hoping I can get it installed soon. What else have I worked on this weekend? Not a whole lot in here. Oh, I did add some shelves to this cabinet finally. I added some shelves so that I could have a dedicated spot for the Bluetti. This bottom area, I just have some blankets here, but actually this is where my batteries are going to go. And then this top area, I've just got some clothes in here right now and some other odds and ends, but eventually this is going to be an electrical closet with the breakers and, you know, fuses, whatever goes in there. I'm probably going to pay someone to do that. And then when I get ready to build the electrical closet, then I'll line the inside of this. Right now you can just see the framing, which looks a little bit jabberwocky, but when I built this cabinet, I was just trying to get around all of these weird shapes, so it doesn't matter. It'll be covered up. Nobody will see it. But yeah, so then also I got some really nice window sills in back here that are 8 inches depth so my cats can sit in the window. Got one on this side. Sanded the corners round so I don't hit my head on them. Got one on this side. Hey, it looks really nice. I love it. I think it's really starting to come together. And then of course we got our pass-through back there. And then here's my puppy, who's very tired. Tired old puppy. You poor baby. Well, that's all I got for now, guys, I think. Yeah, so I'm hoping in the next month or so. I got my daughter's wedding is in a couple weeks, and that's going to take up a bunch of my time. So I probably won't do any serious work on this van for about another month. But the next thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to mount some wood up here along this area where this metal is. And then once I get the roof hatch in up here comes a truck. Being very noisy. Once I get the roof hatch in, then I can put my slat boards on the ceiling, and they're gonna go long ways like this, all the way like this, and then they'll kind of come down the wall. And then I'm going to be building 2 tall cabinets over here and a kitchen here. So this is it for now. I mean, we've been living in it when I'm not out on the road. When we're at home, we've been staying in the van and traveling to go see family members and stuff. Here comes that noisy truck again. But even though it's not finished, it's working out great. Here's something else I found today at Lowe's. I've been looking for something to put on my threshold for months, and I really just wasn't able to find anything. I finally found this at Lowe's today. Check it out. They had this in a lot of different grains and colors. So, as you might have noticed, my flooring, it's different shades of brown. There's some really dark colors on my floor, right? So, I picked this out to go on the threshold here. So yeah, this will go here. I'll have to cut it to fit. And then it'll go right there. I think that's going to look really nice. This is a stair, what do they call it? This is a stair nose. So this is what you would put on the edge of your stairs in your home. And this is what's going to go on the edge of this. And it's just about the right size. It's a little long. Like I said, I'll have to cut it down. But I think it'll fit very nicely. And like I said, I've been looking for something to put there. I didn't want to use aluminum. In the past, when I built my other 2 trailers, I used aluminum for like the threshold. But I feel like the aluminum is just really ugly. And I wanted to get something nice that would kind of blend in with the flooring in here. I think this blends in nicely. And also, I was hoping to get something that's made out of a plastic material. This is like a polyiso. So this should hold up for many years. And it's cool because it has like knots in it. And grain. So I think it looks really cool. And I'm really into knots. As you can see, I've got wood with knots all over the place. That's what I like. Even my stairs have knots. Well, that's all I got for right now, guys. Ugh. Hopefully I can get this cat into the truck. I already got the other cat in there. Yeah, so this is it. Whew. Here's something else. I'll go over this real quick. This video is getting really long. So I found this wide mouth, really wide mouth, nice size container. I got 2 of these at Walmart. They were only like a couple bucks each. These are basically what I'm using as a urine diverter for my homemade toilet. This one's for the van. I have another one for the truck. Because sometimes when I'm out on the road, I have to stay in places where there's not a bathroom. So that's just what I use. Anyhow, that's all I got, guys. Really coming together. I'm really loving it. Hope you all had a good Memorial Day. I spent mine running around Lowe's. Maybe it wasn't the most ideal Memorial Day, but at least I got some more work done on the van. The sooner I get this thing finished, the better. I really like to get it done soon. Anyhow, that's all I got. Talk to you later. Bye.